we said we'd walk together. Baby, come what.
Okay, good morning. So we're starting day 141 at the allegedly Cooper Lodge. That's a funny name for that place. As you saw, it's a dump. Or we'll see.
Yeah, you will see.
Shelter. And we tented here on a platform and got a little wet, but not too wet considering all the rain we had. 1699.7. And we're planning on hiking somewhere around 10 miles today, hoping to end up at Vermont 100 Killington Road, and then a short walk from there to our hotel at the Brier Inn.
Hey, Pete, say that doesn't line up with far out.
Oh, yeah.
Already did seven
And then, yeah, so just so you know, I mean, the numbers in AWOL don't line up with the numbers in far out. These are kind of like old numbers. So we're actually usually about 3 miles ahead of where we say we are, according to the book here. But we're just using that so you can tell how far we go each day.
I just want to go on record that I like sleeping in a tent, but I no longer love this tent. It has yet to keep us dry in the rain. It just comes through the screen onto everything. Look at all that water out there. I can't imagine what the trail's going to be like today.
It's a river.
Pete said the trail's a river when he went and got the food bag. Filming through a baggie. This is our trail. And this is one without all the mud. So can you imagine what we're going to have with the mud? This is where we're leaving. That was our tent pad. So this is Starlock 13. This is the lodge, shouldn't even be affiliated with it. This is what they call Cooper Lodge. My gosh. It is horrible. The floor, you can't even walk on it, it's so uneven. Let me see if I can get a flat. So this is filming through the baggie. Oh geez, it's fogging up. So hold on. So, our trail has not changed. I'm just going to walk for a second to show you this. We're 3 miles in. Look at this, is just draining onto the trail. We're walking through water higher than our boots. When this levels out, we're going downhill right now. Walking through mud again. Not the same mud, it's a different kind of mud, if you can imagine that. You can see this, but this is the water. Look how deep that is. So this is horrible. Is this not horrible, Pete?
It's very horrible.
This has been insane. 4.5 miles, we're finally in this little dark dungeon of a shelter that was off the trail. Small, only sleeps, I think, 8 people. You can see all the muck and mud. Water's over our ankles, 6 inches probably the low part of it. It's just crazy. You're mentally exhausted. You're watching every place where you put your foot. You're concentrating where the poles go. One wrong move and you're down. And Pete says, have we had a day where we have not had rain in Vermont? I said, I think it's been raining since Massachusetts. I don't know. We're going to stop here for a half hour. Let me get my mind back where it belongs. Well, now we're in trouble. We can't possibly cross this. We're gonna, I don't know what we're gonna do. Vermont's flash flooding warning. This is insane. My hands are shaking because we just crossed that.
We're on the other side.
We're on the other side. It was over my knees.
You know, it's hard. We didn't film it. That's how hard it is.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, I was scared to death. I was praying when Pete. I don't even believe, and I'm praying when Pete goes across. Please stay up. Please stay up.
We're good.
Okay. Well, there's no way we're going across this one. But ta-da, we have a bridge. I was freaking out. We're walking down alongside it. I'm like, oh my God, we're stuck here. This is the trail draining into there. Our first road crossing. Finally, we can see what the mountains look like. This is our backup plan. If we can't make it the 4 more miles, we'll turn around and hitch a ride on this road. Made it to Killington, and it is pouring. This has been nonstop for how many hours, Pete? Well, actually, since this morning, since we left.
Morning, yeah.
You know, we left at 6:30, and
it's really heavy now and has been for the last 4 or 5 hours.
yeah,
They're expecting two more inches tomorrow morning.
we're in the flood zone.
I think she looked great.
I'm sitting here saying I look like shit. I mean, we've
Other
had
people-
one hell of a day today.
Yeah, it was 90. No exaggeration. 95+% of the trail was standing or running water.
Yeah,
The whole way here. I mean,
over your boot. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking insane. Well, first, let me say, Pete is my hero, okay? Because when we came up to that stream that was insane, which was not a stream, it was like a freaking Russian river, wasn't it?
Well,
It
but it
was-
was narrow. But yeah, it was moving.
It was moving, and it was moving fast, and there was no way I was going in it. So Pete gets in it, and he goes sideways, you know, does the crab walk, has some force hitting the front of his legs like they say you should do. And then I'm like, okay, cool. He gets over, and I give him the little hand clap. You know, I was really proud of him.
She was proud of me.
And I see this, like, 2-inch round tree that he grabbed onto to get out of, and I thought, oh, that's cool. Pete's going to bend that tree over. It's because it's like a 12-foot crossing, and
The last thing I would do.
And Pete's going, pointing and into the water, and he's looking at me, and I'm pointing at me into the water. I'm going, I'm not going in.
Who is whose hero? So
It
she
scared the
did.
crap out of me.
She did what she thought she couldn't do.
I did. I got in, and I'm going to tell you,
Went
man,
right
that
across.
I did not go right across. I mean, I was like as slow as molasses, and that water was
That's how you should
fast.
be.
I mean, it was hitting my knees. It was over my knees. And you know, for that water to be over your knees and rushing that fast, that's scary shit when you can't see it.
Yeah.
So now I'm panicking because before I crossed it, the first thing I was thinking was, all these thoughts are going through my mind. I'm like, okay, 1 day left of dinner, no snacks. If we don't cross this,
She'll
I'm
be hungry.
screwed. And he knows I get hangry quicker than anybody you can imagine.
So that's all she could think of. I'll be hungry. I'm going to cross this river, risk my life, because I'll be hungry if I
Right.
don't.
So then, you know, well, now I'm panicking because we have 4 more miles, or I don't know, or maybe
Yeah.
6 more miles. I can't remember if we were 4 miles in or 6
It wasn't
miles
that
in.
far, but
And
Even so.
I kept thinking, oh my God, we're going to have more. We're going to hit more, and more's going to happen. And it
was all good. That was the hardest one.
But it was, and there was another one. I cried after it because I didn't think my feet were long enough to go across to hit the next boulder, and
We
we
did fine.
should not have been out there. That's the bottom line. But we had to get down.
We
We
had-
had to get down the mountain.
It wasn't going to get any better. We
Right.
could have stayed. We could have backed off. But there's another 2 inches of rain coming tonight. So it would have gotten worse, not better. So we managed what we had to manage.
So we get to this Brier Inn, and this guy says, "Oh, hikers!" And he's like, you know, Ludlow or whatever the town is. They're
It's cut
underwater.
off,
They're
yeah.
cut off. Roads are closed. And when we were at, Pete's holding my arm out. When we went across the street to the deli, this guy comes up to us. They're really nice out here. You know,
Oh,
I
yeah.
say I wouldn't hike in Vermont, but boy, Vermont loves hikers. And he said, you need a ride anywhere? And we tell him where we're going. We're fine. We're walking across the street to the inn. Then another guy comes up and says, listen, if you're leaving tomorrow, what did he tell us, Pete?
Well, there's a place where there's a boardwalk, and he says it's all underwater already or about to be. So, you know, use caution. We said, well, you know, we're taking a 0 tomorrow, so
Yeah,
hopefully
we'll be off.
it'll settle down a little bit. But we don't know, man. I mean, talk about another 2 inches tonight, and all
Yeah.
that's got to run off the mountain before anything down here settles down. So we'll see.
We'll see.
One day
It's
at a
been
time.
rough. You know, so tonight, you know, we've been doing the laundry. We've been trying to do
Lisa's
everything we
been
can.
doing everything. I've
Pete's
been sitting
injured.
here with ice on my foot.
He's got, I don't know what's going to happen, man. We got to check it out tomorrow, but he's got a big puffy foot, and right over where them little metaparsals run, and tarsals, whatever the hell they are. One may be broken. I don't know.
Nothing's broken,
All right.
or I wouldn't be able to walk. But my foot is sore.
But he does say, ow, you
But
know, when he goes in the shower.
We're off
so
trail.
you never know.
We're off trail tomorrow.
We
and
are.
we got
We're off trail.
plenty of ice and plenty of time. So
Plenty of ice, plenty of mouthwash, Samuel Adams. We're good.
Yes, that's right. And a grocery store across the street.
Yeah.
So we'll be fine.
We'll be okay. What else happened? Oh my God! You know,
that's
today
it.
was
That's what-
today was just freaking insane, and we couldn't film all of this because it was pouring down rain. We come up to one shelter. How far in were we? Maybe 8 miles in, and someone has a tent
Set up in
in
a
a shelter. 4 backpacks sitting there,
Spread-
bear canister,
Yeah.
and
Stuff
nobody there.
spread all over the
Yeah,
place.
They're gone.
Yeah, and they're not there, but they're taking up the whole shelter.
Yeah, it was
It's kind of
funny.
funny. It was it was right before we ended, so it was pretty far. Anyway,
Yeah. It was at a campground.
everybody's making do what they have to make do, and so are we. And it's actually lucky that we had planned a zero. I mean, we didn't anticipate all this rain.
No.
This was just a planned zero, but we really need it, and we need the rain to stop and for everything to settle down so we can keep going.
Yeah, we do. All right, so I'm really tired. I bought Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I am so excited. I'm going to watch
a
it
movie
tonight.
That's great.
Okay,
good.
good night, Pete.
Good night, Lisa.
Good night, everybody.